time there. And, there'll be a lot of players out there today trying to impress the coaches and coaching staff and make that next step to the NRL.
As we watch a replay of that kick going into touch western side, about 5 metres out, just to settle up. And whilst Windsor will come up with the football, Wentworthville certainly has the Wolves where they want them.
Yeah, a bit of a time for a breather. You can see the guys looking a bit tired, a bit worse for wear.
Second row is down. Put it in.
So the Wolves yet to come up with a point here today. Trailing 16-0, they can ill afford to let the Magpies in again before half-time. If they do, given the way they're playing, I'd suspect it will become an unassailable project this afternoon for them. This is Everett Varalsi now into the action, playing in the blue headgear. Jumper 16. Now through the hands go the Wolves. Yelene Gordon. Tackled quickly there by Uasale. He's a big unit, Yelene Gordon. Another that's been at several clubs, the Rabbitohs, the Bulldogs. Now trying to find a home at the Panthers via Windsor. Of course, talking about the pathway from Windsor to the Panthers, Lachlan Coote is a good example. He's a Windsor Wolves junior. Is Shane Blackett tackled, with more interchange activity to come. Thea Harris we just saw on the sideline, preparing to enter the action. Here's Chris Walker. Tackled by Cody Walker. Now Uasale, who did marvellously well in scooting about 60 metres and setting up Savage for a try beneath the posts earlier. Matt Ryan bounced out of the tackle of Mike Warinci, who's now on the field in 17. Windsor, I'm led to believe, is an Englishman. Well, it's Elise, meanwhile, plays it for the Magpies, and a low trajectory kick that is taken by Kieran Croft, returning the footy, only to face a wall of black and white defence. Nathan Armott, Mr. Reliable in defence, was there. Now Michael Marte. Marte can be dangerous if he gets into space. He's a pretty handy player at this level.
Yeah, Marte's got plenty of pace, and he's got a bit of footwork on him as well.
So Thea Harris is into the action now, as you can see, at acting half in jumper 14. Now Warinci does well, flicks it back to Thea Harris, and 6 more tackles it was played at. Touched by Wentworthville. Aaron Fluke also on the field, I can see there, in 14 for the Magpies. Drury tipped us off that he may play some acting half. We'll watch that. Here's Warinci, hard and straight. And Warinci eventually tackled. And it was a good tackle by Daniel Mortimer, who's been hurt in back play. Now it comes out to Fatiaki. Fatiaki had Michael Marte there, but Matt Ryan affected the tackle before he could think about it. Now Saika, and an inside ball to Blackett, who bounces out of the tackle. Aaron Fluke got him. And Windsor, a rare chance for them as they surge towards the try line. This is Jamie Theoharis, and that's tackle number 5. What options do Windsor have? It comes back to Saika, who kicks down towards the northeastern corner for the winger. He's made a contest out of it. And the referee indicating that is a changeover of possession. And the kick again from Saika towards the corner, Lee.
Yeah, it was a good set there from Windsor. They're building a bit of pressure, which is great to see. The kick probably just had a little bit too much meat on it and went over the dead ball, went over the sideline.
Yeah, after Tayasa touched it. That's what happened, all right. Now, here's Uasale, and the markers not facing square on. So, Wentworthville, the beneficiary of the penalty, and that's the last thing Windsor needs, to give away a piggyback like that.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving penalties down in this end of the field for Windsor. Silly little penalty which will, give Wenty some good field position.
Spare weekend in the New South Wales Cup next weekend. No games because of the representative fixture I alluded to earlier between the New South Wales Cup representatives and the Queensland Cup representatives. We'll give you more info on all of that at the back end of today's program. Brett Kamali coaching the New South Wales team. assistant coach to
Spin around. Spin around.
Kevin Moore at Canterbury. And Wentworthville, well, Windsor are compounding it now, aren't they? Giving away another penalty.
Yeah, the referee's given a penalty there for the, as you can see, the defender spinning around on the Wentworthville player. The referee's come in and said you're not allowed to work him on the ground, trying to slow the ball down.
Yeah, Cody Walker on Danny Howard it was. Here's big Pella Talisi, got himself a 4-pointer already today. Tackled by Warinci, and also Everett Varalsi. Armit to the line, he dummied. But charged straight ahead, lost it. That is unfortunate for Wentworthville and very fortuitous for the visitors. Joseph Paulo plays it. Now this is Warinci. Pat O'Hanlon, that is, in 17 for Wentworthville, preparing to enter the fray. This is Blackett. Runs into the shoulder of Carl Faliga. And also Matt Ryan, who got there first, the ladder. Fadiaki. Oh, gee. Would have been handy if he could have popped it to Marte, who was in space, and he had his winger on his left too. It's just a bit of a communication problem, I think, on Windsor's left-hand side offensively. Between the likes of Fadiaki and his centre Marte, there's been a couple of chances go begging down that side.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like they're not talking to each other. There's a couple of times they've overrun it, or they don't not communicating so well.
A kick that has a little too much on it. Back to the 20 we come. All Wentworthville at the moment. The game has slowed down, and you just get the feeling the Magpies are cruising a bit, just going through their paces.
Yeah, it looks like they're just working towards half-time at the moment. They had, it was good speed of the game, and it was going all Wenty's way. But Windsor are definitely back in this arm wrestle, just unable to capitalise on the when they get down the end with a few points on the board.
If you've just joined our coverage today, expert comments from Lee Bennett, former skipper of Balmain Right Eastwood. Very few people played more New South Wales Cup footy than Lee, and we're very pleased to have him with us today in commentary, filling in for Peter Mulholland. Here's Aaron Fluke bursting out of acting half. Well, Drury Forbes is a dead set genius. He predicted that Fluke, generally a 5/8 or back, would play a little bit of acting half. That has been the case thus far. There's a ball away to O'Hanlon, but it's gone forward, says referee Nguyen.
Wasn't a bad little passage of play here from Wentworthville. The referee just calling a forward pass, but it was quite well. It's just gone through there, and it was worth having a crack.
Back over there.
So Windsor through Joseph Paulo play it. McConkey, Tayausa turns his back to the defence, popped it back to Everett Varalsi. Football on the ground, picked up and play on. Man in 18 is Yelene Gordon. Yelene's nickname is Buddy. People just call him Buddy Gordon. Not sure why that is the case, but I can assure you it is the case.
He can be a bit of a handful on the field as well. I'd like to see him get some more ball out wide.
He's played a bit of back row as well. He's a big boy. And this is now Ryan Walker. I remember seeing Yelene Gordon playing SG ball, and we talked about afros before with Pella Talisi sporting one. I'm telling you now, Yelene Gordon had the biggest afro I've ever seen as a kid playing SG ball.
I think I remember that haircut.
You could dead set seek shelter beneath his head. Here's Chris Walker trying to run the footy away, and was tackled by Yelene Gordon. Wenty doing the hard yards from their own end of the field with Troy Savage now, who went sideways, made himself easy pickings for Fadiaki. This is Aaron Fluke. Now big Pella Talisi, who scored a very soft try about midway through this half. Clock winding down to the half-time break. Beautiful afternoon in Sydney's West. Doesn't get any better than this. Ideal conditions for football. Daniel setting up his outside men. Savage, it went through his hands. Iwasale was the chance of grabbing it, but couldn't. Windsor has it now through Yelene Gordon.
That's one. And move.
16-0 to the Magpies. This is Blackett. The tackler, Danny Howard. Mike Warinci
That's right.
stepped off his left and was tackled by Aaron Fluke. Windsor through Ryan Walker. Good tackle there, Matt Ryan. It had to be made. Here's a kick through. And Wentworth comfortably has it with Chris Walker and does well to get back into the field of play and has been taken high. We'll check that again.
It's quite not a bad little kick here, and I think Walker has a bit of a juggle with it, but geez, he's been safe there at the back today. He's had a little bit of work to do, and he's always got his job done. Oh, it's a little bit high there, up around the neck.
Yeah, Michael Marte was the offending player, earning the wrath of the referee. Matt Ryan to play it for Wentworthville, and we're a little more than a minute out from the half-time break. Now it's Nathan Ahmed going forward. Warinci and Fatiaki, the tacklers. Humble away to O'Hanlon into a yawning gap. O'Hanlon, he's got support looming. It's Daniel Mortimer. Will he get there? He's being chased by Tayausa, but to no avail. And the Wentworthville number 7 comes up with another try for his side. 20 points to nil, kick to come.
That's a beautifully set up try there for the Wentworthville Magpies. Humble goes to the line well, good shape, pops a ball to 17, O'Hanlon, and he goes through. Great support there with Daniel Mortimer, who will pick up a nice little 4-pointer just before half-time. That's got to hurt, don't you think, David?
Yeah, look, I think I made the comment 5 minutes ago. They could ill afford to allow Wentworthville in again, and it has happened. We'll be agitated. They haven't had that much footy, and when they have had it, their last tackle options have been poor. Completions have let them down too. So there's the half-time break. 22-0 as the players go to the sheds for a Gatorade. Hicks, Savage, Pelletalisi and Mortimer the try scorers. Humble 3 from 4. Donut, the Windsor Wolves. Stay with us on Fox Sports. We'll be back to Ringrose Park.